turn it back over to Todd, because I had asked him to address some of these concerns, and he's done these elaborate diagrams on his.
Yeah, no.
And if you don't hit all the ones I heard, then we, yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to track my own notes here, and consolidate themes as well. So this is obviously phenomenally helpful feedback, and I'm brand new to this whole open government movement, but I think as Patrice knows, I mean they had me a hello, right? And so
yeah.
I'm so excited about it. But obviously, folks on this panel and folks in the audience have really made all this possible by really fighting for this for so long. And part of what I want to do is help make the most of this moment, right?
Yes, right.
So this is incredibly useful feedback, because I think, one of the Obi-Wan Kenobis in my life is Tim O'Reilly, right? And basically, he essentially provided a huge amount of DNA for our health initiative. And one of his fundamental principles is, if you're a data supplier, the most valuable thing you can do is go talk to the people using the data, right? So one of the things we really want to do with healthdata.gov and with the various codathons and data pollutes we're doing is get a much more systematic, much more continuous conversation going between the data demanders and data suppliers, because then we get just incredible feedback for what to do. So please, if y'all could get on to healthdata.gov and get onto the forums and start threads, and encourage your friends and your friends' friends to do that. That would be incredibly helpful, because I promise you, people are watching, and we need that feedback so we know about where we're going to take our stuff going forward. So a few points. One, just of paramount importance is this dialogue is very, very important, and hopefully healthdata.gov provides another venue for that to happen. And we'd really love that for that to be a really robust conversation on an ongoing basis about all aspects of the data. So another point is we're huge fans of raw actual data. There have been a lot of people within HHS who have said, well, no, people can't handle the raw data. Let's make sure we put it into this carefully machined form. I said, no, no, raw data. So we're really pushing raw actual data, and so it's good to get feedback that that's in fact useful. And part of the thesis there is that the government just isn't going to be the best at how to present that data, right? First of all, the government can't possibly think of all the uses of it. Right? B, there's so many other platforms outside the government that could actually take that data and force multiply its power. Right? C, just most of the smart people in the world, again, don't work for the government, right? They don't work for anyone. And to harness their ingenuity to figure out what to do with the data is really, really important. And I just wanted to pick a couple of examples just to illustrate this. And there are a lot of examples now. But one of Tim O'Reilly's other principles is that if you really want data to help people, don't make people find it. Make data find people where they already are. And this is one of my newest, very, very, I'm just really enthused about this kind of thing. So for example, a search engine recently took our hospital compare data and integrated it into search. So that if you type in the name of the hospital for a whole bunch of hospitals that meet certain flags, it pulls up the patient satisfaction rating with that hospital versus state average in the search result. So you didn't even have to know that hospital compare exists, right? You now actually get the data served to you at the moment where it's really useful to you. They probably 20x the use of our compare data through that alone, right? Which I thought was super awesome, right? So so I've talked a lot about data jujitsu, which is the whole idea of taking data that taxpayers have already paid for, right, and at no incremental cost, putting it out there and massively multiplying the social return by getting all these other incredibly smart people to do cool stuff with it, right? Tim O'Reilly talks about platform jujitsu. He said similarly, there are a lot of people out there who have already built these platforms and these software applications and websites and programs with hundreds of millions of people using them, right? So as opposed to sort of having the data delivered through new handcrafted vehicles from scratch, just have the data infect, in a good way, those platforms, right? And you'll touch so many more people so much faster and change so many more lives than if the whole thing is homegrown, right? So another example, actually.
We have just a couple minutes.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, there's this really neat new app built by this organization called Ozioma. And it's this app that was in response to one of our challenges to take community cancer prevalence and drivers of cancer data and turn into something really useful for our communities. So Ozioma is this really neat app that combines essentially a news clipping service with community data. So basically, it harvests national stories about breakthroughs in health or research or breaking trends or new discoveries or new findings or insights. And then it actually extracts relevant data that is customized for your local community and essentially kind of pre-writes the core of a story with data in it and makes health stories much, much, much more doable by individual journalists Because essentially they've got the national story, they've got it essentially customized for a local environment with a customized local data set that gets auto-generated, and it's being offered to journalists for free. Which that was just awesome. So that's an example of kind of like the ProPublica style play, right? To kind of democratize journalism, leveraging data, right?
Yeah, we're going to have to stop.
Okay. Well, there are many. I love this inspected, spent, enforced, licensed. That's a great. Was there a fifth one? Inspected, spent, enforced, licensed. Okay, that's a great framework, actually. And so speaking of this dialogue, and I guess we can talk offline about dialysis. I'd love to talk more about that. That may already be done, but if there's something already in progress on another front, I'd like it to take less than 2 years for the data to get to you. And so anyway, I'd love to talk more about that. But thank you for the feedback, and thank you for all the work that y'all have done over the years to help make this moment possible. And I, as you can tell, I could not be more excited about it.